So I knew it was going to be a show, but he never told him, no inkling to me or anyone in the family. I'm going to get it to be a stagger. Never told anyone. Strolled into it. Yeah.
I was working right out west, way out west, little place beyond Cessnock. Little place called Windy Bug. I believe it's an Aboriginal name, it means far. And I was right out there, I thought I'd try the bottle attendant out in there, so I went in the bottle shop, I went, bah. He sheared me head off and tried to fuck me. You know what they're like out there at Cessnock? Where men are men and the sheep keep moving.
The bigger the audience, the better, yeah. Who wouldn't do it with one or two? Nah, it's not working, you see.
All the acts on tonight are all featured performers here at the Comedy Store, so it's going to be a great night, So sit back, relax, and I'll bring on the first cab off the rank. A man that's been a regular here for several months and a very, very funny man. Make him welcome, Mr. Calvin DeGrey, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Calvin DeGrey.
I don't know about you people, I'm getting a bit sick of all this advanced Australia stuff. Yeah, all this, you know, do the right thing and have a go, you know, life be in it, that sounds pretty filthy for a start. You know, things like join the army, meet interesting people and kill them. Or play rugby and feel a man. Hey boys here tonight, always trying to build us up, make us feel bigger than we are, you know. Things like feel superior, fondle a nun. You know, things like visit Russia before Russia fucking visits you. Strike for the right to pretend to work, join the DMR. We got some things. Keep Australia green, fuck a frog. You know, like fair enough, I reckon you can get grease on a Greek, but I don't know about this come on Aussie shit, you know. When I was a little boy, my father said to me, if you want to be a true Aussie, you got to get into carpentry.
It was in early 1977 that Calvin came up to me and suggested that we should write a musical, and I'd never written a musical before, and Calvin, I think, had done, you know, pantomimes as a kid and written things like that. Anyway, we commenced writing this. This is early 77, and by the end of 77 we had it written, and I don't think we knew what we were really doing because we wrote it with a cast of 30, and we knew it was going to need a crew of about another 20, so we had to find 50 people to get involved with it. We did it, we got it up, and at the end of 77 in December we did a sellout season at the old Stage Club on Cleveland Street in Surrey Hills, which at that point was known as Newtown Rules Club. And after that we found a couple of investors who said we should try it, that we should try it professionally, and so therefore they threw in a bit of money, threw about $12,000 at us, and we found John Howard at the old independent theatre at North Sydney. He was quite interested in us taking it because it had been a dead theatre for quite a while. Now John Howard, he ran a little drama school upstairs in the theatre, and that was all fine, so we were sort of coexisting in the theatre with all of us trying to do this musical, which was really based around the evil 70s, everything to do with the 70s, including, you know, marijuana and all those sorts of things that young people did in the 70s, and so we hired a publicist. We got Ingrid Berg, somehow we got Ingrid Berg into it, and which was fantastic because she was the publicist of the day in Sydney. As well, she got Current Affair, and we had Paul Macon arrive at the theatre one day, and he was the journalist for Current Affair, and we set up on stage, and there was me and Calvin to be interviewed by him, and Ingrid Berg sat down in the front seats, and this John Howard came along as well too, and he was sitting about 10 rows back in the theatre. Interview was going just fine, everything seemed to be going pretty well. We were trying to state our case of unemployed people doing a musical, etc. And then for some reason I got into a bit of a rave of how we'd fixed up the lolly shop, and we'd fixed up the coffee shop, and we'd put all the seats out in the theatre, and that we'd painted the theatre theatre. And at that point, John Howard stood up and he said, "No, I'm sorry, these kids here, they didn't paint the theatre, my students painted the theatre." So Paul Macon closed up his book, changed altogether, said, "That's it, these kids are liars, we're not having them on the show," and he left. And he just left with Ingrid Berg running after him. Well, I felt terrible. I thought, there goes our national exposure of trying to promote our musical. So I ran out of the theatre myself, and I ran down to the park next door, down to St Leonard's Park, and I sat in the amphitheatre there crying my eyes out, thinking, what have I done? I've ruined all chance of publicity on this. But Calvin came up to me, he found me in the park and wrapped his arm around me and he said, "Don't worry, mate, it's okay, we'll get the show on." And as it ended up, Ingrid smoothed it all over with the current affair people.
It's today, it's the truth, that's the way it is. They've all got off their backsides and decided to do something about the fact that they've got nothing to do. So they're all getting up and moving and got involved with this, pulled this whole thing together. Sure, we wrote it, but without everyone else, you know, it wouldn't be possible.
My head is spinning round and round, spinning out of control.
Drugs are a lot in the newspapers these days, etc., etc., and you see a lot of reports, etc., etc. But what we've done is tried to bring out the truth about them, but there's a lot of people in our society today who won't face up to the fact that they are about us. And that's basically all we're saying. We're not condemning them and we're not praising them in any sort, not soft drugs or hard drugs. We're just showing that this is the way it is today, the evil 70s.
How do you know that that's the way it is?
Well, let's say it's an interpretation. It's our interpretation. 42 young people who live in Sydney. It's what we feel.
You have had some bad write-ups, haven't you?
Well, one or two embarrassingly amateurish moments.
That was a hit below the belt?
Yeah, which was a oof.
I'm in love with a girl from the moon. This means I must be an astronaut soon.
Hello? Yeah.
Charlie, you're fired. No. Nick at Night needs your viewer mail now. So if you've got any complaints, suggestions, or even compliments about Nick at Night, please, please, please write to us at Nick at Night, Lockbag 99, Piermont, New South Wales, 2009, and keep Charlie in a job. Hurry!
Excuse me, would you mind answering a question for us? What do you think of No Frills products?
They're not bad. Why?
Yeah, do you use them?
Yeah.
Why do you buy them?
Because they're bloody cheap, that's why.
I'm just wondering what you think. Why? Why do you think they're cheap and nasty?
Well, because they're not as good quality. I mean, the food, your toothpaste and your soft drinks, and they're just cheap. They taste awful.
What do you do that for? We don't get that anymore since I've discovered No Frills.
What do you mean, no frills?
That's the basic thing without the thrills.
In other words, you say they're going to put our sex life in a can.
Welcome. Rex Callaghan, Action Cam. We're talking to a well-known psychiatrist. Why have people been turning to these No Frills products?
Color. From the dawn of time, man, the human race has been divided into two separate parts. You were either white or you weren't. In these modern times, we find ourselves as white or not. You see, we don't need color. The human race is looking for something new, and when we cannot find that which is new, we of course revert back to that which was old. Human beings, as we know ourselves, how do you do? We find ourselves living in a world of high-pressured finance, taxes rising all the time. Depression is set in. I'm not very well myself. There's inflation at 15% annually. There are road taxes. The cost of food rising out of this world.
Dr. Frick, you seem to have missed the question.
Yes.
Why have people been turning to these No Frills products?
It's cheaper.
I don't know. Cheaper, I suppose.
They're cheaper.
They're less expensive.
Mr. Corn, can you tell me how No Thrills products have been going in your supermarket?
You know, I've been in the grocery game for about 6 years now, and you know, I give the people what they want. You know, if they want No Thrills, I give them No Thrills. Yeah, I've even gone as far as giving them a No Thrills checkout line.
88, 56, $1.
No, don't worry, love, you got them cheap anyway.
Well, it certainly seems that No Thrills have taken over the world, not only in the supermarket, but other goods and services as well. We visited this panel-beating repair shop today. Excuse me, sir, I couldn't help but notice you've had your car repaired No Thrills.
Righty-o, mate, too right.
Tell me, what's the difference?
Look, mate, there's not a great deal of difference, just that it's heaps cheaper.
Thank you. Have a nice day. What do you think of No Thrills products?
I think it's the most thrilling thing that's ever been put onto the market in Australia.
Do you buy them?
No.
We're gathered here today. I don't know why, we could be at the beach. Well, anyway, let's get on with it. Be right with you, be right with you. Let's hang about there for a second. Bloody Page is missing. Not interested in a funeral, I suppose. Exorcism, scare the devil out of you. Never mind, I remember how it goes. You want her?
Yeah.
You got her. Kiss the bride. For it.
Oh, no, I don't want to kiss him. I don't want to.
She got me cheap. Okay, lower it. Gently. Beauty.
Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. The suitors don't get you, then the liquor must. Okay, that'll be $2.
There we have it, the story of No Thrills. And in my opinion, just a story. Not something that's taking over, no, just a story. Rex Callahan, Action Cam.
Excuse me, mate. I'll take that microphone and the clipboard and the company car keys.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm the bloke who's taking your job.
Why you?
'Cause I'm cheaper.
The year was 1986, and a mate of ours by the name of Wayne Simpson, who was a producer for SBS, gave us a call. He produced a program called The Noise, which was a rock program, and he decided to get rid of the host and put Cal and I in there for the New Year's Eve show. His directive to us was to be as outrageous and as offensive as we possibly could. So we set about designing this show that would be offensive and outrageous and also funny.
Now, could you explain the rules of the game?
Sure.
Right.
The rules are, Cal, see what we do, we get our contestants to take a mouthful of the soup provided, right? They go over there, Cal, and they throw it up into the loo.
Oh,
see?
mate, no.
Yeah, it's only soup, right? And what we do is, Cal, we go in there with a Polaroid. I'm going to let you do this. You take the Polaroid of their efforts, OK? All right? Now, see, we're looking for the neatest possible entry, right? You got the idea?
Yeah. I've heard Simon Townsend say the neatest possible entry, but this is ridiculous, mate.
Yeah. So that's what we do, Cal. We go over there and we take a photo of it, Cal, see? That's what we do.
Right, and, like, I don't understand what's a photo show? Like,
well, the photo is well, here, I'll give you an idea of why people lose at this, see? Now, we'll have a look, see, at some last year's losers. These are last year's losers. Now, have a look at the first one. See that? See? Can you see that? Look in the monitors there. See that, Cal? All down the side of his legs. Floppy bastard, Cal. Mate. No. Loser. OK? Here's another one. Look, too pissed. Look. All down the side of the bowl. Look at that. Look. Disrespectful slob, Cal.
Mate, no.
And here we go. This bloke too pissed to get out of the chair. Look at that. No good. All losers, Cal.
Right.
So now you've got an idea what we're looking for. We're looking for them to go in there and they've got to get it in there as clean as a whistle, Cal.
Right, now, could I just have an example here? Like, what sort of soup are you going to use?
Oh, we're going to use your favourite one. Yeah, your favourite.
Alphabet soup?
Alphabet soup.
Yeah. No, why alphabet soup?
Why alphabet, Cal? Because when we take the photo, Cal, I think it's going to be a work of art. And it's important that art says something, Cal.
Right, well, we've got the contestants here. Come on over.
Come on over here.
Give them a clap.
Even got a young girl in there, Cal. Look at that.
Yeah.
She's eager. She's eager.
Now, let's do this.
She's got something to get out of the system, yes. OK.
Now,
all right, we've got the...
Well, we get our the names.
The name.
What's your name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Shocking name. Shocking.
Like his hairstyle.
Yeah, yes. Look, what are you looking for? A trip?
I thought Woodstock ended years ago, mate. And what's your name?
Jody.
Jody.
Hi, Jody. Ah, Jody, well, they come to bed with me.
Settle down.
OK. Hey, what
and
about
your name?
He's Graham. He's Graham. It's a puffer and everything, isn't it?
No, you know. I like that beard, mate.
Yeah. It is a beard. He hasn't been chewing on a dog, has he, Cal?
He could have been. OK, now, we've got the soup in...
We've got the soup.
Here.
Oh, look, lovely soupy webbie from... Oh, there we... Oh, lovely soupy webbie. Oh, lumpy soupy webbie. Oh, lumpy, yes.
OK, who's first? Woodstock first.
Great.
Here we go. Now, you take a sip. Do you want to escort our guest into the toilet?
Yes, no problem.
I wouldn't like to do that.
Go in there. Don't be scared.
No, you've got to, hang on, you've got to take a mouthful of the soup first, mate.
Yeah, mouthful of soup. In you go. He's moving about a bit, isn't he? OK, we'll let him out. Let him out. Now, you go in there and take the Polaroid, Cal. I'll take care of him.
Oh. I can't take a photo of
Go in there!
Mate, no, I'm not going in.
Get him out.
Mate,
Get him out. I'll take care of him.
Oh, jeez. Oh, get
Come
out.
here. You come. Get out the dirty place. You filthy mongrel. OK, how'd it go, Cal? You got it?
Yeah.
You got it? Beautiful. OK.
I know it's only soup, but that's pathetic, mate.
All right, our next contestant is the lovely Jody.
I'll take it to the toilet, Dad. Now take your sip.
Take a little sippy with me. Oh, she's lovely.
Oh, no, you don't swallow it. She swallowed it. What's she going to do, Frog?
Don't swallow it.
In you go.
In you go, in you go.
You've got to take a mouthful and spit it out.
Throw it up in there, that's the way.
Throw it up.
Clean as a whistle. Oh! Give her a clap, yeah. What a good job.
This shouldn't be too bad.
That shouldn't be too bad.
Shouldn't be too bad, no. Girls are always tidy.
Oh, look, she's got a... There we go. Come out here, there we go. No worries, no problems. You were great. Heard you.
Pretty good, guys.
Cal, come out here.
That was clean. Oh, mate. Did you hear that noise?
Sounded like a whistle to me.
It sounded big.
All right. OK, here we have Muttonhead. OK, mate, no worries. You just go straight in there, OK? Take a mouthful.
Take a big mouthful.
Big mouthful. Big boy.
Mate, you swallowed. OK.
OK, in you go. He's ready. He's ready. In you go. Got the glass. Go. Yes, that's good. There we go. Lock him in there. He's a big bugger. Looks awfully violent.
We told you to have a vomit.
Get the Alka-Seltzer, Cal.
What's he doing in there?
I don't know.
Get him out.
I think he's found a new love. All right, as you get If that was his face, he's done a lot of dirty living, Cal.
He was smiling the wrong way.
Yes. You think he's...
I think he might be dressed, mate. I'm better, yeah.
I'll have a look. No, put them back on. She's got everything off.
Let's throw to a clip, mate.
Yeah.
I think we'll
No, he's got everything off, Cal.
No, I think we'll have to...
Call the police, Cal.
We'll be back just in a minute.
Oh, Gaz, it's a party. Yeah, and the toilet's busy.
well, we were going to do the result of the game, but we've decided not to.
There'll be no winner, Cal. There'll be no winner because the winner was an arsehole.
You know, like, television isn't a pretty sight, is it, sometimes? Like...
That wasn't, I tell you.
I don't think we should talk...
I haven't been down a tunnel for a long time.
I'm glad we didn't use a Zoom, I tell you, mate.
Yeah, I tell you it was. And then it got to his tonsils, I reckon.
Now, there's one thing that is fascinating about television, is that...
What? What's fascinating about television?
They're sitting at home watching us. They're watching us.
That's right. You're right. You know, television have never watched people, have they? So that's why we keep moving along on television, because people are watching us like this. So they're not moving, but we've got to keep moving to make it look good. Hey. But see, we never watch people. Wouldn't it be good if we reversed the set? We had a look at them, Cal. Let's have a little look.
My God.
Look at that, Cal.
Not good.
Nothing going on.
They're just doing the same as us.
Just looking. They're just looking at us, Cal.
Turn the station over.
Yeah.
Mate, look at that woman. She's hardly got anything on.
Yeah, look at that woman.
No, don't look at that woman.
Ah, look at that woman.
Turn it over. I'll turn it over.
Oh, look at that man.
It's for you, Cal. Could we put it to a better suburb?
Cal, I tell you what, I thought you were a big boy.
Turn it over, mate.
Okay.
What are they doing?
Sex, Cal, sex. That's sex. They're making love.
They should be watching us.
Should be making love. Who wants to look at an arsehole while they're making love?
I never thought of that. What about the Prime Minister?
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
He's not there.
No.
Never there.
Never there. Actually, he is there. He's just not doing nothing.
Never does anything, does he?
Who else can we have a look at? Who else can we have a look at? Oh, who'd be good? Hey, what about John Laws? There he is, knowing everything. Look at him.
How come he's got clouds under his feet, Gaz?
Because he's God, Cal. Welcome to his world. Who else could we go to? He's boring.
What about we go to someone with a bit of controversy, like, what about Murray Farquhar?
Did you swear, Cal?
You're the one who's been swearing.
I haven't sworn. Arsehole's not a swear word, Cal.
Don't say it again.
Well, it's an apartment that has to be there.
Listen, there's one thing I love about... What do you mean?
Well, if you don't have an arsehole, Cal, you can't play the game.
Very next day, after New Year's Eve, I get a phone call from Calvin. He wakes me up and he says, "Mate, have you seen the paper?" I said, "No, mate. What?" He said, "Mate, we're on the front page. Get down to the newsagent, get a paper. We're on the front page." So I run down to the newsagency, and as I'm coming towards the newsagency, I can see those placards out the front of the newsagent with this big, bold print: "Row over smut on TV show. Wayne Simpson got into all sorts of trouble. SBS were furious." Cal and I were wrapped. I mean, you know, front page, it doesn't come much better than that. Even though it was for all the wrong reasons.
It's probably early 60s, 61, 62 when I first met Calvin, probably 63 now that I think of it. We were about 6 years old, and I was sitting out on the front fence, not far down the road from where we are now, which is Calvin's old house, and the one he spent most of his youth in. And up the street strolled a man and a boy, and I was sitting on the fence watching these two walk up. And the man was saying to the young fellow, "This kid here," he said, "he'll be your best friend." And I'm sort of sitting there thinking, what's this all about? Next thing they walk over to me, and it was Slim and Calvin, and Slim turns to Calvin and said, "There you go, mate, your best friend." then he turns to me and he goes, "You'll be his best friend, won't you?" And I wasn't sure what to think or say, but it was yes, yeah, no problems, you know, being young guys and everything. And as it turned out, we ended up being best friends for all of Calvin's life and most of mine. I suppose I ended up Calvin's longest best friend as well, even though Calvin, I think, had lots and lots of best friends in the time that he was around. I mean, he could light up a room. It didn't matter what you know, what your mood was or what anyone's or probably what his was, but he would light that room up, and that smile, mate.
I met Cal when we were about 8 or 9 years old here at Prairie Vale Cubs, and as far as Cal and I can remember, it was possibly where people witnessed his first public performance or a performance with an audience. That was at the Waterfall Cub Camp, and he was asked to sing or tell a story, and he sang The Ugly Duckling, which put all of the Cubs in tears. The performance was so grand, he was asked to repeat the performance when all the adults came to pick up the kids, the parents came to pick up the kids at the end of the weekend, and he ended up putting all the parents in tears as well. And I think everybody knew, even at that early age, that Calvin was meant to be on the stage and he had a future in showbiz.
Dave, would you please welcome Calvin DeGrey.
I don't know, but I think it doesn't matter who sponsors what, as long as the product is legitimate. That's important, don't you think? It's no good having like an IBM conference sponsored by LSD. Geez, you get a business trip you never forget, would you? No. Mr. Bush, what about him? Sick under the table in Japan. Wonder if he used a bit of handy language. No, it's true, but what about Mr. Bush? I couldn't believe it. Chucked under the table. It's good to see he learnt something on his Australian tour. No, actually, he's getting a better reputation, Mr. Keating, now. Have you noticed? Yes, he is. Well, I think he fits in now because you think, Keating, think of the name. Keating, it's a bird, a lorikeeting. Yeah. You think we had a hawk and a peacock, a quail flying from America, a bush in charge? It's a bird sanctuary. Believe this, we had Sunday night at the movies, we had the movie Halloween, and it was brought to you by Wilshire Stay Sharp. 18 stabbings brought to you by Wilshire Stay Sharp. What about next? A horror movie brought to you by Laxettes. You know, it's funny, isn't it? Even Buddy Holly, the show, is sponsored by a major airline. I don't know what Buddy would think about that, do you? That's like having the Chamberlain story brought to you by the National Parks and Wildlife.
There was this time he went down to a pub or club in Cronulla to do a spot. When he finished, went out to the car park, his car was gone, stolen. So he went back inside to make a phone call to the cops to report the car stolen, and this guy came up to him and said, "Mate, you're the comic, aren't you? Was that your car?" And Calvin said, yeah, my car's gone. He said, "Stay here, don't look outside, 5 minutes." So a few minutes later, screeching tyres, Calvin looks out into the car park. His car's there, doors open. They've brought his car back. And I always remembered that as kind of like the essence of Calvin. Calvin went around in his life making as many people laugh and be happy as he possibly could. And he got his car back.
Jokes never play on stereotypes, and we don't discriminate against anyone.
Hey, Cam, where do you want us to put the dwarf and the freaky-haired red bloke?
On the next Stand Up Australia, it's these two guys, Calvin DeGrey and Adam McKenzie. That's all on the Comedy Channel. Stand Up Australia!
One particular day, I invited Calvin along to the SCG Trust Box. Now, the SCG Trust Box on the first day of the test is the who's who of the social elite and politicians and the well-to-do. And here we are in the SCG Trust Box, and Calvin's with me. As just recently he had finished his chemo, and we're enjoying the day's cricket, having a beer, having a talk. He's there talking with General Cosgrove, and I'm just sort of standing in the background, just enjoying him, really enjoying his first day at a test match with free booze, food, and with all these elites there. And we sit down to have dinner. have lunch, sorry. We sit down to have lunch, and I'm sitting on Calvin's left. He's I'm on Calvin's left, and on his right, there are two people, a guy and his son. And he asked Calvin, he said, Calvin, what do you do for a job? He said, look, I'm a comedian, and you may have heard of my dad, Slim DeGrey. You know, I'm his son. And, you know, it's so hard living up to the expectations of people when you've got a legend comedian father. He said, you know, but I'm doing my best. And he then elbowed me and he said, who's the person on my right? And I said, Calvin, that's John Bradman, Sir Donald Bradman's son, and that's his son next to him. And we both nearly choked. I choked from laughing, listening to him talk, and then when I told him who he was, he nearly choked.
Coming up next, it's Stand Up Australia with Calvin DeGrey and Adam McKenzie, only on the Comedy Channel.
What I loved about Calvin, well, he's my brother for a start, yeah, but he had a heart. He was always to please someone. He wasn't angry. He never got angry. He never snapped. He never, you know, tempered. And he was just so relaxed and wanted everyone to be nice around him, you know. Not the commander of the people, but, you know, just to be there and be as nice as what he is, and everything will go fine. You know.
I remember many jobs that Calvin did, but one in particular was at the Lyric Theatre, I think it is, in the Star City Casino. And Channel 10 decided to do a live telecast of their V8 supercars, and they needed a warm-up man. And so they got in touch with me, and I figured, well, Calvin will be great for this.
Beasley, what about him? Remember him? No wonder he didn't want the GST. If I ate and drunk as much as him, I wouldn't want to know about the bloody thing. They say when he has sex with his missus, he burns his bum on the light bulb. Like, really? I really don't like any of them, you know? Like our Premier, that's not pretty. The sex symbol of women who no longer care. What about his name, mate? Bob Carr, Bob Carr, Bob Carr. It sounds like a snowmobile, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, good Bob Carr. I thought lucky he's in a puff, he'd be Bob Cat. What about him? He wanted to change our national anthem for the Olympic Games. He wanted us to change the song. We can't even remember the words to the one we got. He wanted us to sing that Waltz Sing Matilda song, you know, the song about the swagman that has sex with the sheep. God, who would have stood up at the Olympics? New Zealand, that would have been it. Have we got any Kiwis? Any Kiwis here? Hey ho, hey ho. I believe the Kiwis are wearing kilts now, did you know that? They're wearing kilts because the sheep are getting too familiar with the sound of the zipper. Sorry, just a gag, just a gag. Kiwi stands for keen interest without intelligence, you know. No, I'm only having a go. No, I love the Kiwis. They're our nearest neighbour. They're so close, they're here.
It was 2 decades after That's the Way It Is that Calvin and I got involved again in another project. I'd written a kids video. It started off as just an audio CD, and then we decided to do some footage as well too, and make a bit of a preschool kids video. So I asked Calvin if he'd come on board, and had all puppets made. It's a puppet video with quite a few songs in it, and Calvin was the man I chose to do all the voiceovers for it, so I had him playing the main characters that would link all the songs. I had various people to do the songs. I had Garry Who to do one. I had Greedy Smith, author Kathy Lett was involved too, and Calvin sang a song as well too. Great Green Gods of Greasy Grimy Go for Guts.
Can you tell me what's the best thing about camping in the bush?
Oh, that's easy. Swimming on hot, sunny days.
Same, mates. No! The food! The fabulous feasts! The gourmet delights of classic cuisine.
Settle down.
Easy, Roddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, here's a song I learned on a recent camping trip.
green gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts, mutilated monkey meat, little piggy hairy feet, all mixed up with a pile of poison possum pus, and me without my spoon. Great green gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts, icky, sticky eagle spit, viscous vulture vomit, all mixed up with percolated puppy poop, and me without my spoon.
I remember this Friday afternoon, picked up a last-minute job for Cal for that night, so I rang him up and said, mate, I've got a job for you for tonight. And he said, oh, shit, I've already had all my beers for today. I said, how many beers have you had? And he said, oh, 12. I said, oh, Cal, I thought you were on a diet. I thought you were trying to lose weight, cut down your beer. How many did you have before? Oh, about 22. Jesus.
There's one thing that Calvin always wanted to do, and that was to write a book. And over the last few years before he passed on, he wrote that book, and it was so Leave Him Laughing was the title. He was proud that he'd finally become an author, and that book is a legacy of Calvin. People will remember him from what he wrote in that book, and of course the industry that he worked in loved him and respected him dearly.
He's been working the clubs in Australia since 1823, yeah. Yeah, and he was linked to the Jack the Ripper murders. He's fantastic. Please put your hands together and welcome Calvin DeGrey!
Hey, isn't this good? Isn't this good? Television with entertainers. What about that? Isn't that nice for a change? Oh, mate, it doesn't happen, does it? You know, look what you get on TV. Blokes showing off their garden and crap, people renovating your house while you're down getting pissed at the pub. Come home, the choco vine's been pissed off the toilet. It's annoying, isn't it? And then they get real people. Don't you hate that? I hate that real people stuff, don't you? I can't stand all that. Survivor. Oh, give me $20, put me in front of a poker machine, I'll show you Survivor. No, it's crap. It's all crap, isn't it? All of it, you know. I'm seeing they even get sports stars on to try and liven up the real TV, you know. It's crap, isn't it, you know. You got Michael Slater on skates. You know, you've got Michael Bevins singing on It Takes Two. You've got Shane Warne on It Takes Threesomes. It's annoying, isn't it, you know. I hate it. Next day, Wendell Saylor on RPA rummaging through the drug cabinet. I can see it now, can't you? I can see it all now, can't you? Yeah, I'd like to see it all. I'm sick of it. I'm sapped. I reckon they should have put the Prime Minister in the Big Brother house. What do you reckon? Yeah, that'd be good, eh? I'd love to see that, eh? You get held down by Abbott and turkey slapped by Costello. Yeah, that's what we want to see, yeah. Pauline Hanson in RPA, that'd be good. She could do brain surgery. I'm fed up with it. I'm just fed up with it. I don't want to know about the news. I hate that too, don't you? Who wants to know what the Prime Minister is doing? What about him? They call him Bonsai because he's just a little bush. It's true, isn't it? He's big in America. Do you realise Mickey Mouse wears a John Howard watch? I couldn't believe it. He stood up the other day. He couldn't tell he was standing up, but he stood up. He said, we turned the corner on unemployment, we turned the corner on the recession, and we turned the corner on taxation. I thought, shit, everyone knows when you turn 3 corners, you're back to where you started from. As soon as we have an election, we get some new crappy law, like, you know, smoking. What about that one? Not again. Passive smoking. You go to some clubs, you know, and they've got a pot plant. And you can smoke this side of the pot plant, but you can't smoke that side of the pot plant. And the pot plant is plastic. What is this crap? It's ridiculous. Passive smoking. I don't even believe in it, do you? I reckon passive drinking is more dangerous. You think about it, you don't drink, you don't drink, you don't drink, you don't drink. What? You don't want to talk to the prick, do you, you know?
I get annoyed. I just get annoyed with all the laws and regulations. Like GST, that didn't work in Australia, did it? Us Australians can't do fractions. 2/3 of us don't understand fractions. The other half couldn't give a stuff about fractions. Look, it's annoying, all of it's annoying. I'm sick of it, you know, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the control the government's doing, you know, like everything that America does, what do? We copy. What is this crap? We're nothing to do with America. We're Australian.
And that's what I love about him. You know, he's such a kind-hearted man. Entertained millions. Made thousands laugh. Not me, though. But, as I used to say to him, you can't please everyone, Calvin. He used to chuckle at that.
Lips that once were mine, tender eyes that shine, they will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dream. They will light my lonely way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams.
Thank you.